How's everybody feeling? You relaxed?
I don't want to block this.
We use the restroom. We got a beverage because my speech is 45 minutes. So, you may have saw I wasn't wearing glasses when we walked in. These aren't prescription. I'm just trying to look smarter than I am. But no, good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. It's just, man, it's crazy. I mean, how many people are here right now? So thank you. Thank you so much on behalf of my entire family. Just would like to extend an immense and heartfelt thank you for being with us today to celebrate and honor an absolute legend. And not only was he a legend, he was a loving husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, cousin, son, grandson, and to so many, a true friend. I really love this guy, and I'm really going to miss him. I'm very proud to be his son, and so extremely thankful that he was my father. While I didn't get to say one last goodbye, or truly thank him for everything he did for me, we couldn't have been on better terms if we tried. We absolutely knew how we felt about each other. The last time I talked to him was a week before he passed. I was feeling stressed about a couple things going on in my life, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to see if Dad has time for a quick call. So I sent him a text asking if he had some time to chat, and I think he responded within a minute. And he said, "Call me, bud." It was such a loving and supportive conversation. Instantly made me feel better. And that's a great dad and a great friend. I'm so glad I called him that day. I got a condolence message from a friend of mine within the last few weeks, and he said to me, "You know, Andrew, I was telling my wife that I don't think I've ever spent time with you where there wasn't some story or anecdote about your dad that you told." And that's 1,000% true. I love talking about my dad. I took that video. Slow motion, thank you very much. But as far as talking about him, whether it relates to him exhibiting some machismo or bravado, which he loved to do and did it effortlessly, or sharing a mythical story he told about his youth, embellished or not, an anecdote of him being confidently himself to someone or in some situation, to even stories about him giving me a hard time or disciplining me growing up, I love it all. Because underneath it all, there really was just a giant teddy bear with an absolute heart of gold. He was the man. I've really been racking my brain as to what my first memory of my dad was. When did I become conscious and start to realize I really like being around this big fella? The memory I've landed on must be from when I was maybe 3 years old. From what I recall, he was sitting in his armchair, feet up, and probably watching TV. And where was I? I was snuggled up with him, lying face down on his barrel of a chest, and for all I knew, I might as well have been laying on the most comfortable, warm, and safest mountain imaginable. It was like he was a big, tall guy or something. The memory I've landed on, now if Dad were here right now, and I shared that memory, he would likely add one crucial detail. That tender, beautiful father-son moment promptly ended with me, out of nowhere, throwing up on his chest. Sorry. But the key takeaway in that first memory of mine with my dad is that I felt safe, I felt protected, I felt loved. I am so incredibly grateful he made me feel all of those things unconditionally for close to 40 years. And it is my hope that everyone who knew him got to feel just a fraction of how he made me feel. It was something special. Another story that came to mind from my youth is when I really started to realize what type of guy my dad was, which I would learn was a no-nonsense man's man with aforementioned heart of gold. It was the first time I got into trouble for fighting in elementary school. And before you jump to conclusions, no, I didn't start the fight. But if you're the child of Bill Imholt, you don't start fights. You finish them. Long story short, the kid was getting kind of mouthy with me or one of my friends. I probably told him to knock it off. He throws the first punch, and I must have ended up beating him up or something. Anyway, straight to the principal's office I go. They called Dad to come pick me up so he can take me home early and discipline me for my behavior. So he shows up to the principal's office. I'm scared as all get out for being in trouble. And I remember vividly a big pink discipline slip on the principal's desk with my name on it. Even though I didn't start the fight, I still thought I was screwed. Now my dad sat down while frowning at me, and then he proceeds to get the story about the fight from the principal. Well, Patrick so-and-so started the fight with Andrew. Andrew threw him to the ground and yada, yada, yada. We do not want this type of behavior at our school again. And Bill, we trust that you'll take the appropriate action with Andrew to prevent this from happening again. My dad goes, so Andrew didn't throw the first punch? The principal confirms as such, and my dad simply replies, you know what? I am going to take the appropriate action. Once we leave your office, I'm taking him out for pizza to celebrate. We get up, walk out, and go have pizza for lunch. I always thought that was pretty cool. Now, if I had started the fight, I shiver even to this day thinking about how much trouble I would have been in. And trust me, I got into plenty of other trouble with my dad, which must have been foreign to him because I don't think he ever got in trouble with his dad. Wink, wink. But no matter what amount of trouble it was, how frustrated, angry he may have been in the moment, he would always relay the life lesson that was to be learned from the situation. I mention that story because it is a true testament to who he was and how he raised his children. Be a good person, treat people with respect, stand up for what you believe in, take care of your family, take care of your friends. He led by example in all of these things. That being said, I'd like to segue into a few words my sister Tricia eloquently prepared about our dad on this very topic. How he led by example, what he passed down to his children, and how he felt about us. Tricia on our dad. He was a tremendous leader, mentor, and the guy you wanted in your corner. He was sincere, practical, and there was no doubt how he felt about you, good or bad. If the latter, you either course-corrected or kept your distance. He taught us the power of a strong handshake and the importance of eye contact. I'm trying to make eye contact here, I don't want to get emotional. He had a gift for importance of eye contact. He showed us how to be honest leaders, good listeners, reliable friends, helpers, whatever you need, count on us kind of helpers. He had a gift for easily making friends, and he passed that down to us. He was fiercely loyal, quick-witted, a great listener, but also a great storyteller, and he was unapologetically true to himself. He wanted us to be exactly who we were and never pressed us to be anything different. He loved us, and he was proud of the leaders we were from childhood to professionally and in our communities. Did he have flaws? Of course. But honestly, not very many. He left nothing unsaid, so there is peace in that. Could I have used one more crushing hug? Yes. But I can still feel the last one, and I'll take that with me wherever I go. He knew he was loved and had one hell of a good life. And so beautifully written, T. Our dad was the guy you wanted in your corner. Let me count a few of the ways. Need help launching a boat? Call Bill. Need help moving? Call Bill. Need a laugh? Call Bill. Need some advice? Call Bill. Need a beer? Call Bill. Need to vent about your day? Call Bill. Need to hear someone's unfiltered opinion about the world at large? Call Bill. Need someone to have your back? You didn't even need to call Bill. If you're in this room right now, Bill had your back. And rest assured, Bill's family has your back. I'll conclude with this. As you may have saw up front, we've got a playlist of all of his favorite songs, and I think a few CDs. But his favorite songs and the songs we remember fondly listening to with him over the years. For me, there's one song that will always make me think of him. The first time I remember ever hearing this song, it came on the radio, or he had a tape playing in his car, and before he turned it up, he named the band, the year it came out, and what it reminded him of. The band was the Eagles. The year the song was released was 1972, and the song reminded him of carefree summer days on the lake and driving around town with his friends in his trusty Bronco. The name of the song was Take It Easy. He undoubtedly enjoyed the melody, the harmonies, the instrumentation of the song, but I know he really enjoyed a good lyric. So as my dad has embarked on his next journey, and we embark on our own without him, I would like to wish him and all of you the very best with the following lyrics from that song, which I know he loved. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand and take it easy. We may lose and we may win, though we will never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. So take it easy. I love you, Dad. Thank you for everything and more. I miss you. We all do. All right.
I want to make some noise for the big guy so he can hear us. If you could please grab a glass, lift it high, and let's give a mighty and deserving cheers to Bill, to Billy, to Boomer, to Boy, to Uncle Bull, to GB, to Dad. Cheers!